for him tonight. About 4 hours and 15 minutes of non-stop action. And I'll tell you, if people who are tuning in around the country and around the world are wondering, what is DRAKA all about? I think those questions were answered tonight, Don.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can just watch it, and you don't need somebody to explain all the intricacies of the rules. You can see the takedowns, you can see the knockdowns,
yes.
And it's pretty much self-explanatory.
Well, the super middleweights are ready, and our first one of the evening here from the United States comes Mike Winkeljohn. Winkeljohn, the USA full contact and IMTO world champion. 21 wins, 8 losses. He weighed in at 165.5 pounds. He's trained by Billy Packer. And this is a rematch. Winkeljohn fought last year against his opponent, Dmitry Tюкалов. And there is Winkeljohn. Fought to a draw against the man you'll see again tonight. Winkeljohn in superior condition. Talked to him earlier tonight, and he was excited about the chance to get it on once more with this man, Russia's Dmitry Tюкалов. He weighed in at 163.5 pounds. He's trained by Nikolai Romanov. He's undefeated 9-0 with 1 draw, and it came last year against a man who was 24 feet across the ring from him, Mike Winkeljohn. And interesting about this fight, they fought to a draw, and then 10 minutes later, they re-added the scorecards, and we were informed that Tюкалов was declared the winner, so he has a perfect 9-0 record. And our ring announcer, Steve Fossum, is set to go and officially introduce the two fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be our last DRAKA bout of the night. Thank you for coming, and we'll say more of that later, but this is for the DRAKA Intercontinental Super Middleweight title. In the black trunks, weighing in at 165.5 pounds, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA, with 21 wins, 8 losses, and 3 draws, with 11 wins by the knockout. He is the ISKA World Oriental Rules Champion, the USA Full Contact Champion, and the IMTO World Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, please welcome Mike Winkeljohn. And in the green trunks, weighing in at 163.5 pounds, from Russia, with a record of 9 wins, no losses, no draws, with 7 wins by the knockout. The 1996 National DRAKA champion, the 1996 third-place Russian kickboxing champion, and in the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dmitry Jaguar Tükалов. Your referee for tonight's bout will be Danny Stell.
We went over the rules in the dressing room stuff. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck to both of you.
Danny Stell will referee this fight between Mike Winkeljohn and Dmitry Tюкалов in the rematch. Originally called a draw. And then as another fight was underway, we were informed, as was Tюкалов and Winkeljohn, that there had been error in adding the officials' cards, and Tюкалов was declared the winner in a very close victory. Winkeljohn, 21-8.
Oh, I know Winklejohn pretty intimately. I fought Winklejohn years ago. Ended up winning by KO. But he was a tough guy. And he's still tough. Seems to me Dimitri is more of a puncher. A lot of the Russian kickboxers and I guess some of the ΔΡΑΚΑ guys come from the boxing.
No question, Don. I agree with that. You can see the style. You know, they might have 9 fights in ΔΡΑΚΑ, but I guarantee you that they were involved with Soviet boxing teams.
Oh, absolutely. You can't tell me this guy's only been in the ring 9 times. Just watch his hands. They're much better than his feet.
Turn southpaw there. That's an educated move.
Good left-right combination by Tюкалов. And a strong left hand by Winklejohn.
Hit right in the chest. I think that shook up Dimitri a little bit. And the leg kick, he didn't seem to like that.
You can bet Winklejohn thought he got jobbed the first time around.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he felt he won the fight. At the very least, it was a draw. And then to announce 10 minutes after the event that the other fighter had won by points, Winklejohn's got something to prove here. I think what Winklejohn needs to do is work the legs. He's fighting against a boxer right now, and he needs to take his legs out.
Don, he needs to definitely go after the legs of Dimitri, but at the same time, Winklejohn needs a little more side-to-side head movement. He's there, and you see that Dimitri has really got an educated right hand, and what he's been doing, even at the end, right at the bell, he countered with the right hand again. So Winklejohn's got to start giving a little head movement just to keep him off balance.
There is Dmitry Tюкалов. Winklejohn lifts the left leg. And you saw Tюкалов deliver that left and then an overhand right. How'd you have that scored unofficially for that round, Don?
I'd probably give that to Dimitri. It was close though, but I think he was superior with the hands and was able to ward off most of the kicks.
Right here we see Dimitri on the attack, going to the body and the head. But you know, Winklejohn, Don, you mentioned earlier, he's a tough guy and he's cagey, coming out of that southpaw stance. He's got a good straight left hand of his own, and there he tried to throw it there.
Well, he landed it right on the chest of Dimitri once already in the first round.
Nice ball kick with the left leg by Dimitri.
Very sneaky. But Dimitri doesn't like those leg kicks. I can tell by looking at him. He doesn't like it. He's switching up both ways because of that leg.
Tюкалов chasing Winklejohn across the ring, delivering an overhand right. And now Danny Snell. Danny Snell will break him. Well, you're absolutely right, Don. Tюкалов does not like the kicks to the leg.
No, he's switching switching up both ways, and normally that means a fighter's leg is starting to hurt. When you start switching up like that, it could be an indication of leg damage.
Nice inside leg kick by Winklejohn.
You gotta keep it up. Keep kicking those legs. Because he's dealing with a puncher here, a heavy puncher.
Yeah, you can see that, the effect on the face of Winklejohn with a little knot and also beginning to bleed from the nose.
That's not gonna bother Mike Winklejohn, though. I think he's had plenty of nosebleeds.
Good right hand to the nose of Winklejohn by Tükalov. Round two comes to an end with Winklejohn again going to the lower legs of Tükalov. Now their first go around, Winklejohn's nose was bloodied early in the fight. Now Winklejohn does not look any the worse for wear. Second round, a good aggressive round for the man in green. That is Dimitri. Now you look at Dimitri fighting well inside. There is Mike Winklejohn.
There's no doubt.
Trainer Billy Packer having a word with him in the round between the second and third round.
Well, Bill Packer's not actually in the corner right now.
No, he's not. Where is Bill?
I don't know. He's listed, but he's not here.
Nope, he is not there.
Dimitri does have a pretty sneaky little front kick.
Yeah, that's Ken Harding in Winklejohn's corner as I look over. Winklejohn back in Tükalov up.
Good right leg to the rib cage of Winklejohn by Tükalov.
Neither fighter has scored a takedown yet. And we're in the third round. Big right hand by Tükalov.
And a straight left by Winklejohn. They traded punches right
I
there.
think he traded that one. I think he got it right on the money. That left was in there too.
Again, straight right hand by Dimitri.
And an answering front kick by Winklejohn.
Again, Winklejohn on the move offensively, but unable to land anything clean.
But he is keeping the pressure on, that's for sure.
Round 3 draws to a close. Let's go across the ring to Blinky.
Well, I'll tell you what, this third round, once again, we see both fighters really, they know each other. This is a rematch fight. Both fighters are really picking, you know, their shots, and they're doing all that they can to land, but no one's really landed. The cleaner of the shots really have been landed by Dmitry Tюкалов. As we see here, an exchange there of both fighters. Here we see Tюкалов again. There goes that ball kick that he's thrown earlier. And once again, he comes back with that left hand right to the chin of Winklejohn. There you got it, Phil. Back to you and Don.
All right, Blinky. Now, this is a tough one to score through 3 rounds, Don Wilson. I think by the narrowest of margin, probably Tюкалов.
Yeah, I've got Dmitry ahead. He's landed cleaner blows. I think what Winklejohn needs to do is work the body and the legs. The head will fall.
We're ready for round 4 action. Well, in their first match, they fought a 6-rounder. This one is scheduled for 10.
And that probably, Phil, speaks to the reason why they're taking their time. They came out a little faster their first fight. In this particular fight, you see them more, you know, trying to be a little more careful, probably with their conditioning, and make sure they can finish strong. I don't see a KO in this fight. I see this fight really being a fight won on points.
Now, that'll be bad news for Winklejohn if he's got to wait for another decision.
Right, I think Mike Winklejohn is a tad slower than Dmitry. Aside from the fact that Dmitry seems to be a better puncher.
And also, Don, if you notice that right leg again to the left rib cage of John Winklejohn, you can start seeing it welt up on that side. Caught him a couple of times right with the shin bone. And those can also take their toll.
Tюкалов now getting off much quicker than Winklejohn as Winklejohn puts him down.
That's 3 points there.
But Tюкалов, the quicker of the two, there's no doubt about it.
Well, he's younger, and a lot of the speed is lost as you get older.
Referee Danny Stell warning both fighters, saying, "Hey, when I say stop, stop."
You know, Winklejohn has kind of given up on the leg attack. He needs to pick up that leg attack again.
Final seconds of round 4. Boy, this has really become a tactical fight, unlike their first go-around when they pretty much went to the center of the ring for 6 rounds, and I mean wailed on each other.
Well, you know, they're still wailing on each other, but they're just doing it in a more methodical, more strategic way. You'll see here some of these blows here landing by Winklejohn. And here he is. You'll see it from here where Winklejohn is backing up. He sees the leg, he grabs it, sweep. Once you can grab the leg, all you have to do is sweep the back leg. There's really nothing your opponent can do at that point.
Set to go for round 5. Winklejohn in the red and black. Tюкалов from Russia in the green.
Nice back kick by Winklejohn. I'll tell you, if he gets a little more thrust on the extension, it could have done some real damage.
He should have extended that because it looked like it could have been on the money. And that front kick almost caught Winklejohn.
Tюкалов, Don, pretty much dictating the pace and the speed and tempo of this fight.
He's in great shape, he's young, and he's fast. Even with his hands down, he's a hard target. He can go southpaw or orthodox.
And there you see Winklejohn going to the legs of Tюкалов as his corner yelled, "Go for the legs."
He needs to go for the legs, maybe go for the body with those hands.
Winklejohn just not setting down on his punches.
Two inside, Mike. 1-2 inside.
By Tюкалов on the offensive again. Now Winklejohn tries to back him up and deliver a left-right combination. And Danny Stell will separate him.
Mike's just not fast enough to get in there and score cleanly like that. He needs to either try to crowd him or try to counter Tюкалов.
Now we've got 5 rounds behind us in this super middleweight Intercontinental Championship title bout. We're at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles, California. And what a fight we have seen thus far. That is Dmitry Tюкалов with his back to you and Mike Winklejohn on the offensive. But I'll tell you, he has run into one depth charge after another from Tюкалов.
Tюкалov is just a little too fast for him. Even with his hands down, Mike can't just land cleanly on him. But it's a close fight. I mean, Mike's definitely making a fight out of it. It's not over yet.
Bill Stone along with Don the Dragon Wilson and Blinky Rodriguez. And what a night it has been of ДРАКА championship action.
Well, if Winklejohn's going to get into this fight, he needs to start now. You know, it's the midway point, and it's time for him to turn on some afterburners. He came out the first round, Don, and he came out and he looked aggressive. He'd start taking it to him, and then since then, Tücalov has dictated the tempo of this fight with his quickness and the great distance and timing that he has. Plus, he's bouncing on them young legs.
There you go.
You know, we have seen very little grappling between Winkeljohn and Tücalov. No takedowns at all.
I think
maybe one.
John got one, I believe,
Yep.
and that's why
John
he's kind of gone back to it a couple of times.
Well, that's where Winkeljohn wants to be, where he can get inside and deliver those devastating kicks to the lower legs of Tücalov. Got to slow that younger fighter down.
Exactly. He's got to really resort to some roughhouse tactics. When he gets inside, he just got to let him go. Just mix them up low and high. And that's what he's been effective with when he gets inside. Because he does go to them inside leg kicks, but then he only throws one.
Well, they worked effectively earlier on, and then he just kind of like gave up on them.
This is the 6th round for these super middles. Straight left hand by Winkeljohn, but Tücalov was already backing up. No damage.
Mike's just a little bit too slow to catch him. When Tücalov backs off, Mike just can't catch him.
Another good round for Dmitry Tücalov, as Winkeljohn unable to land anything. Now Dmitry Tücalov, talked about it throughout this fight, the younger of the two fighters. You see Mike Winkeljohn tried to come on early in that 6th round. And Tücalov, Don, as you have said throughout this fight, just a bit too quick for the older fighter.
Yeah, he's quick and he's in shape. He's a little more powerful with the hands. He can switch up. He goes southpaw and orthodox, which is confusing to a guy like Winkeljohn. And he is not. Mike Winkeljohn is not able to figure him out yet.
And you think that Winkeljohn, being that this is a rematch, would have come in with a set game plan. He had the opportunity to take a good look at Dmitry Tücalov, and actually Tücalov is doing a lot better this fight than he did the last one. And that's exactly what Tücalov is doing. He's getting off first. He's getting off first, and he's pulling out. And you hear the corner of Winkeljohn asking him to get off first. But he's not. Tücalov is doing that, been doing that all night.
I think the fatigue is wearing on Mike Winklejohn, and he's slowing down a little bit. He's getting hit more. When he gets inside, he's not busy.
And that's where Winklejohn's going to have to do his damage, guys. Once he gets on the inside, he's going to have to really exert himself and try to make something happen, because once Tюкалов gets back on the outside, Winklejohn just can't find him. Nice ball kick by Winklejohn that time. Great idea. He tried it again.
Well, when he went to the body with the kicks and the hands and the leg kicks, he was able to score.
And that's what you were saying earlier, Don. Stay to the body and the legs, and the hit will fall.
Winklejohn trying to muscle Tюкалов here in the closing seconds of round 7. But for Mike Winklejohn, I'll tell you, he needs an absolute nuclear attack in round 8, 9, and 10 to come back in this fight.
Well, I'll tell you, Winklejohn's got a warring heart, and he, it's not over till it's over. But for right now, that man right there in the green shorts, Tюкалов, has been dictating this fight.
You have to believe if you're in that man's corner right there, you've got to be telling your fighter, just lean back, take a couple of deep breaths, try and get a second win, because you got to have these last 3 rounds.
Absolutely. In fact, the strategy I was talking about before of working the legs, it's too late for that now. I think what he needs to do now is go right for the chin. You might fake, you go to the body only to open up the chin, because he needs a knockout to win this fight, or several good clean knockdowns.
3 rounds to go, Blinky. I think Winklejohn needs a miracle.
Well, I'll tell you, you see the right hand and the left hook that Tюкалов came back with, and he followed up with a sneaky left round kick. I agree with you, Phil. If Winklejohn's going to do anything, he better turn it on, or he might as well just forget about it. And every time his corner yells out, "Be first, Mike, be first," you see Tюкалов just take that one step back, and he's out of range. And this is such an important factor in any sport, but in particular the fight game. Your distance is as important as your quickness.
Tюкалов being warned to watch his head.
You see the speed of Tюкалов. He's so much faster than Mike. But that leg's not going anywhere, and that Mike did land a good leg.
That right hand had some leverage on it by Tюкалов. There's that leg movement from the younger Dmitry Tюкалов. He just gets right out of range. And here's where Winklejohn has to turn it on. You got to roughhouse him. You got to start trying to throw him and make something happen.
Take him down. That's his only chance. Good left hand by Mike.
You wonder, Danny Stell is breaking them up awful quickly in this discipline that allows grappling.
Right, I think he might be getting in there a little too quick for some of these moves, because there has been some potential grappling going on that's been broken.
Tücalov, good straight right hand.
He caught a front kick to the stomach.
And round 8 grinds to a close. And again, it is the speed of the young Russian. Let's go to Blinky Rodriguez.
I'm here with Jimmy Hampton. Jimmy, you're here tonight. You've done the longest yard. There's many things and accolades you have under your belt. You know, you were making an interesting comment about the respect shown between these fighters, even though they're out there pulverizing each other.
Absolutely. You know, it's a very rough sport, very tough sport, but it's not a vicious sport. They respect one another. They play by the rules. I think it's very it's really going to catch on.
So I take it you like the sport of ДРАКА so far.
I like it very much. It's the second time I've come, and I'll be here every time. Every time Jimmy Mullins fights, I'll be here.
Right on. Well, there you got it. Jimmy Hampton loves it. Back to you, Phil.
And for good reason, Blinky. It has been one tremendous night of ДРАКА action. Shaquille O'Neal was here earlier tonight getting his first look at this sport, and it's not hard to understand, Don, why so many people are turning on to ДРАКА. Here is the 9th round. These super middleweights, Dmitry Tücalov and Mike Winkeljohn. Well, on my card unofficially, I've got Winkeljohn. The only way he can win this fight is a knockout.
I think that's a pretty safe bet at this point. But it seems like they're both going at it pretty hard right now. I mean, they're not sitting back waiting to get a decision. Both of them are fighting hard.
Tücalov trying to load up with that right hand. Ninth round, scheduled for 10. Tücalov trying the spinning back fist, couldn't land it.
It was actually a jump spinning back fist, and I can't remember when I've seen that. Both feet were off the ground and spun with a spinning back fist.
Not unless you're at a point fight, point tournament. But he's still fresh. Tücalov is still fresh.
Oh, nice ball kick. Nice. Best ball kick landed to the chin that I've seen in a long time by that man right there in the black shorts, John Winkeljohn.
Unfortunately, it didn't have the effect that he needs.
Big right hand to the chin of Winkeljohn.
And I'm sure Tücalov is wondering what's it going to take to put this guy down, because Phil, that was flush on his chin.
Oh, I don't think he's going to put Winkeljohn down.
And that's the end of the 9th round. So we have arrived at the 10th and final round for these super middleweights. Tücalov tipped the scales at 163.5. Winkeljohn 165.5. Tюкалов trying to run his record at 10-0. Mike Winkeljohn possibly looking at his 9th loss against 21 wins. And really it is a superb effort by Tюкалов tonight, fighting Winkeljohn for the 2nd time. And it's really this outcome at this point is not in question. Danny Stell asks both fighters to touch gloves for this 10th and final round, final 2 minutes of this fight.
It is still the fight game, and anything can happen. One punch, one kick can turn it around.
Now this is where Winkeljohn's got to let it all hang out.
And there's that movement of Tюкалов. That movement is what's really baffled John Winkeljohn tonight. Tюкалov will get off 1, 2, 3 shots, and then he pulls right out of range. And all night long, Winkeljohn has not been able to figure that out.
Oh, spinning back fist lands on the temple of Winkeljohn.
Oh, I think that must have been glancing. If it was clean, that would have been it. You know, this has been an exciting fight. It's been a competitive fight. It's just been a tad one-sided. But Winkeljohn has always been coming forward. He's always been keeping the pressure on.
No question, Winkeljohn's been more than willing throughout this fight.
Well, one thing's for sure, if Winkeljohn does not get the decision and it goes to Tюкалов, he won't be complaining about it. It won't be like before.
Tюкалov trying the spinning back fist, can't land it. Final 10 seconds of this fight. What a war it's been. The second go-around for these super middleweights, Dmitry Tюкалov and Mike Winkeljohn. Well, on their first go-around, it lasted 6 rounds. It was initially declared a draw. 10 minutes later, Tюкалов was awarded the victory in a recount of the judges' scorecards. Tonight, Don, they go 10 rounds, and I don't think there's any question. But for the first round or two, and Mike Winkeljohn appeared as if he might be able to go to work on the legs of Tюкалov.
Right. But you see here, we've got a side kick there is a little low by Winkeljohn, but the style of these guys, Winkeljohn was basically coming forward with Tюкалов countering and being the quicker of the two.
Now, when you look at this fight and you break this fight down, you've got to believe that Mike Winkeljohn will be very, very unhappy with what he did not accomplish tonight.
Well, absolutely. It won't be a case like before where he feels that he got a bad decision or there was some sleight of hand with the judges' scorecard. This time, I think he pretty much knew he was dominated.
Well, Winkeljohn came into the fight, he told us earlier, in superb condition. There will be no excuses on the part of Mike Winkeljohn. He fought a very tough Russian competitor in Dmitry Tюкалов, and a fighter that's younger and I think has a tremendous future in front of him. Very quick.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I fought until I was 38, so this guy's got at least 10 or 15 years left in him.
The style of DRAKA, does it take a lot more out of you than perhaps regular kickboxing or Muay Thai style?
Oh, absolutely. This grappling, I mean, if you're not prepared for it, I wrestled in college, so I know what grappling, the kind of strength and the training you have to do to be able to grab and pull and lift someone's body weight. And it incorporates all the conditioning you need for kickboxing with the grappling you need for wrestling or Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, that type of an activity.
And just watching Mike Winkeljohn walk around the ring, he kind of looked over at us and shook his head as if to say, I don't think so. Let's go across to Blinky Rodriguez. Blinky, could he possibly have won this fight?
You know, Phil, sometimes it's just not your night. It seemed like one of those nights for John Winkeljohn tonight. His timing was off, his distance was off. The younger Dmitry Tюкалов was able to really dictate the fight throughout, as we all seen. But he's a game warrior, and hopefully there'll be another day for him. But for tonight, the younger of the two, Tюкалов, he's going to take it back home to Russia. Back to you, Don and Phil.
All right, for Mike Winkeljohn, this was his 33rd professional fight. This will probably be his 9th loss, while for a guy by the name of Dmitry Tюкалов, this is only his 10th fight as a pro, probably his 10th consecutive win.
He's got a bright future, but I'd like to look a little bit further into his record. I mean, he's got to have had either boxing matches or something, because he's so experienced in that ring. I mean, he knows how to pace himself. He's very much a ring general in there, and to be that way within 9 fights is amazing. I mean, he's got to have either an amateur boxing record or something else to back up this kickboxing record.
Don, you fought for so many years. What would you have done? What could Mike Winkeljohn have done in the middle rounds to possibly climb back in it? When you've got a fighter in the ring that is number one, kicks harder, throws punches harder, and is faster, is there really anything you can do to change your game plan to get in it?
Yeah, he needed to keep the leg kicks, the body shots. Just the body's not going to move like the head. When you shoot for this kid's head, he leans back, he drops his hands. You can't score, but the body is there, and the legs are even more so. And you know what? You got a guy who wants to bear down on his weight and throw some punches. You work those legs, it makes it very difficult.
Now, Mike Winkeljohn, as we said, his 33rd professional fight. He came in with a record of 21, 8, and 3. He had 11 knockouts on those 21 wins. The first time he and Tюкалов went around, it was a 6-rounder. Tonight, it was a 10-round fight for the Intercontinental Super Middleweight Championship. And you just get the feeling that those extra 4 rounds, Winkeljohn just didn't have enough gas.
No, he's getting older. As I said, I don't know exactly how old Mike Winkeljohn is, but I know I fought him in, I would say, the mid-80s. And so I know he's well over 30 years old, and that's past the fighter's physical prime.
Now you look outside the forum here, downtown Los Angeles, a beautiful winter night outside, temperatures in the mid to high 50s. It is absolutely picture perfect in Los Angeles, California tonight, while inside the forum, things were a whole lot warmer than that. A full evening of DRAKA championship action. It began with a tremendous fight. Hector Pena against Sadibek Isakayev, a fight that began with so much promise. We thought that fight had a chance to go the distance, but 15 seconds into the fight, Isakayev had an eye problem, complained that there was some kind of a foreign substance on the gloves or the leg or the shoulder of Hector Pena. That fight eventually stopped in the second round. Hector Pena declared a winner in a TKO. And then Jim Mullen took the ДРАКА heavyweight championship of the world away from the legendary Russian Gaidarbeikov in a fight that really, I think Jim Mullen was as surprised as anybody else to win. But on any given night, Don, as you and Blakey know, anything can happen. Well, we've got a decision. Let's go to the center of the ring and find out who won this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for this last DRАКА battle of the night. How about it, huh? Okay, I'm going to get a little bit technical on you here. The bout overall was first ruled as a split decision draw. Now, however, according to DRAKA rules, the overall winner is decided by the total overall points. Judge number 1 scores at 106 to 100. Judge number 2 scores at 53 to 42. Judge number 3 scores at 79 to 76. The winner by split decision, and now the worldwide DRAKA Intercontinental Super Middleweight Champion in the red corner, Dmitry Jaguar Tükalov.
And there you got it again, Phil. We thought that, you know, in fact, the fight was a lot wider margin, but once again, it was closer than we thought.
Planned for March 22nd, right here again at the Great Western Forum.
Well, as we said at the outset of this fight, it would need to be a great effort on the part of Mike Winkeljohn to win this fight.
Absolutely, but you know what? Not as great an effort as we thought, because it was a split decision, so it was a lot closer. It wasn't a landslide victory that we had anticipated.
No, it was not. But Dmitry Tükalov, for the second time in less than a year, has taken the measure of Mike Winkeljohn. Dmitry Tükalov, the Intercontinental Super Middleweight Champion. And you take another look at Dmitry Tükalov, a very serious Tükalov, and that's pretty much the expression that we had seen throughout the night. And now for Don the Dragon Wilson and Blakey Rodriguez, I'm Phil Stone saying thanks so much for joining us for this wonderful evening from the Forum in Los Angeles, California, of World Championship DRAKA Fighting. So long, everybody.